What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to Game Day with Trey. Of course, this is your host, Trey, and today we're going to talk about this NFL Sunday afternoon matchup between the Carolina Panthers and the Chicago Bears. All right, so this game will be played October 6th at 1 p.m. East Coast time. It's going to be in Chicago, Illinois. The line has had some movement. Chicago by 4. Over under at 40 and a half. In some places, you can get Chicago by 4. Over under is kind of going up to 41, guys. All right, so let's go ahead and let's take a look at this matchup and let's see what's been going on. You can also get Chicago minus 3.5 some places. But like I said, let's go ahead and let's look at these two teams and how they played in their last times out there on the field. So you got the Carolina Panthers right now. They just came off a loss to the Cincinnati Bengals for letting Cincinnati get their first win of the season. They lost 34-24, guys. First quarter, Cincinnati gutted them 7-0. Second quarter, they actually matched in points, 14-14. Man, Cincinnati was up 21 to 14 at half. Then they actually came out and matched them again. Okay, Cincinnati put up 10 points in that third quarter. Carolina put up 7. All right, so then the fourth quarter, both teams put up 3 points, and Carolina ended up losing by that 10 points score of 34-24, man. They allowed Joe Burrow to go out there and go 22 for 31 for 232 yards, 7.5 yards per pass, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, QBR of 88.2 with a 100.5 quarterback rating. All right, Andy Dalton came out there and did his thing, though. He was 25 for 40 for 220 yards. He had 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, QBR was 61.1, and he had a quarterback rating of 83.3. Chuba Hubbard ran out there and toked it. 18 carries for 104 yards, man. And so that really helped them. Miles Sanders did pitch in with 6 carries for 32 yards. All right. They did allow Zach Moss to go 15 carries for 51 yards and Chase Brown 15 carries for 80 yards. But that really doesn't tell you too much about what they were doing out there. It just tells you that they give up against the run, guys, a little bit. So they did have some opportunity, man. They did lose the time of possession battle out there, though. Carolina won the time of possession battle. They had 31 minutes and 2 seconds to the Bengals 28 minutes and 58 seconds. All right, they did tie turnover and tied for first downs. It was a very close game, guys. When you look at it like that, right? Even though they did lose by 10 points, it's still for Carolina, considering what Carolina's been doing. Like, that was close for Carolina. I give them props for that, right? Carolina passed the ball 12 times on first down and ran the ball 10 times on first down. Carolina was 7-for-14 third down efficiency, and the Bengals were 7. They allowed them to go 7-for-13, guys. So definitely take that in an understanding and kind of offense that they were playing against though in that game, guys. All right. So on the season though, right now, okay. Just as a recap, so Carolina's 1-3 on the season, you guys, now. All right, after falling in that Cincinnati game. Andy Dalton has only thrown for 539 yards, 5 touchdowns, and an interception on 65.4% passing, while Chuba Hubbard, he leads the Panthers with 296 yards rushing. Deontay Johnson has a team-high 20 receptions for 239 yards, 2 touchdowns, and Xavier Leggett, the rookie, he's got 143 receiving yards. Adam Thielen, he's been hurt, but when he was out there, he had 109 yards. Shaq Thompson leads Carolina's defense with 35 total tackles so far as a whole. And the defense as a whole is combined for 5 sacks and 3 interceptions, guys. Okay, but when you're looking at what's been going on with Chicago and what they did in their last game out, right? So Chicago was able to beat the Rams 24-18 last time out. They were losing the first quarter 3-0, and then the second quarter they finally answered, put some points up 10-3 in the second quarter. So it was 10-6 at halftime. Then they put up 7 points to 3 points in the third quarter and 7 points to 9 points in the fourth quarter to win 24-18 and pull it out against the LA Rams, guys. All right, Caleb Williams was 17 for 23 for 157 yards, 6.8 yards per pass. QBR rating is just 39 and a quarterback rating of 106.6, guys. Matt Stafford came out there and was slinging it all over the field. 20 for 29, 224 yards with 1 interception. He got sacked 3 times for 21 yards, as well as Caleb Williams getting sacked 3 times for 24 yards. Now, you got to understand, okay, Matthew Stafford is missing a lot of weapons out there. His best wide receiver he had out there was Tutu Atwell, and that tells you a lot when you got Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp. You know what I mean? So, Kyron Williams, they allowed Kyron Williams to carry the ball 19 times for 94 yards, averaging 4.9 yards per carry and get a touchdown. DeAndre Swift finally showed up. He had 16 carries for 93 yards, 5.8 yards per carry, 1 touchdown. And rookie Rashawn Johnson, or second-year player Rashawn Johnson, I'm sorry, he had 7 carries for 26 yards, 3.7 yards per carry on that. As far as receiving, DeAndre Swift led the team receiving with 7 receptions for 72 yards. He still is not hitting DJ Moore. Just 3 receptions for 22 yards. And Keenan Allen, first game, 3 receptions for 19. Rome Odunze, 1 reception for 10 yards. Like, are you going to pass the ball to a wide receiver, man? Cole Kmet, 3 receptions for 34 yards. I understand he's a rookie, but come on, guys. Yeah, Caleb Williams is supposed to be like that, supposedly, for what everybody say. I'm telling y'all, I don't see it. I just don't see it yet. I really don't see it yet. Okay? So I just don't see it. And on the season, now, the Chicago Bears are coming into this game. They're looking to add to that 24-18 win from last week that we just got done talking about, right? So they can improve on the year. But at the end of the day, man, Caleb Williams is thrown 787 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions. Okay, his completion percentage is only 61.7%. DeAndre Swift, he's rushed for 161 yards, most of that last week, and a touchdown, which he got last week. All right, DJ Moore, he leads the Bears with 22 receptions for 189 yards. 22 of those yards was from last week, guys, and a touchdown. Rome Odunze, he's got 166 receiving yards. 10 of those yards was last week. Okay, Cole Kmet, 162 yards. I want to say like 30 of those yards was last week. Okay, like they are not moving the ball on offense with all those weapons they got over there that you gave him as the number 1 pick coming out. Like there should be more offense going on right now, guys. There should be a lot more offense going on than what we're seeing right now for the Chicago Bears. I told y'all, like, Matt Eberflus, man, like you got to get rid of him, and that's messed up because you kept him, and now Caleb Williams going to have to learn a new coach and going to go through those growing pains and all that foolishness too as well. That shouldn't even be happening right now. So, whatever. It is what it is. Right now, the Chicago Bears, basically on defense, Jaquan Brisker has a team-high 35 total tackles while TJ Edwards has 34 total tackles, including a team-high 21 solo tackles. Javon Dexter Sr. has a team-high 3 sacks. Jalen Johnson has a pair of interceptions, as a unit, the Bears defense has combined for 10 sacks and 5 interceptions so far this season, guys. That's who's been keeping them in the games, is the defense. It is definitely not that offense, guys. All right, so when you're looking at these two teams and you're looking at exactly what's going on injury report wise, all right, Jalen Coker, he's still questionable with the foot injury, nursing that foot injury for the Carolina Panthers. Tommy Tremble, he's questionable with the knee injury. Miles Sanders, he's questionable with an ailing illness. Don't know if he'll actually make it in this game. Deontay Johnson, he's questionable managing that ankle injury. Don't know if he'll actually be out there. I expect to see him though. We had Damian Lewis. He's questionable with the groin. He sat out the previous 3 games due to that groin injury. Robert Hunt, he's questionable with the shoulder. He sat out the previous 3 matches with the shoulder injury. You got Nijman, the tackle. He's questionable. He's missed 3 previous games right now with that leg injury. Taylor Moton, he's nursing the knee injury. He's questionable. Don't know if he'll be out there. Like their whole line is injured, man. Then when you look over at Chicago Bears, Montez Sweat, he's questionable, laid up with the ankle injury, undetermined if he'll be out there. Of course, Javon Dexter Sr., he's questionable nursing that hip injury. Don't know if he's going to be able to make it out there. Cole Kmet, questionable, laid up with the knee injury. Don't know if he's going to be able to make it out there, but he should be able to. You should see him out there. Who else? Darnell Wright, he's questionable, dealing with that back injury. So is Braxton Jones, dealing with that knee injury, questionable whether or not he'll be actually active for this game or be able to play. Definitely some significant injuries on both sides of the ball for these teams, guys. All right, when you're looking at the matchups and how these two teams have been playing so far this season, so Carolina's offense is only averaging 18.3 points per game. It's 25th in the NFL, whereas Chicago's defense has given up 18.8 points per game. That's 8th in the NFL. Now that changed a little bit since they've changed their quarterback, to be honest with you. But you got to, like I said, you got to take it with a grain of salt because Bryce Young does count for some of those points. All right, so third down. Carolina's third down. Okay, they're only converting 29.17%, 28th on the NFL on the season. But like I said, that changes. All right, so then you look at Chicago. Chicago is 5th best defense in the NFL, only allowing 29.41% third down conversions. So they got 5th best defense on that. All right, so touchdowns. Carolina, they get to the box, they're gonna check it. 60% of the time they're gonna check that box, man. But that's 12th in the NFL. Whereas Chicago's only allowing you to score 45.45% of the time. That's 10th best in the NFL on defense, man. All right, so what about running the ball? Can Carolina run the ball? Well, they're averaging 4.4 yards per carry. That's 15th in the NFL. And Chicago allows you to run 4.5 yards per carry. So that gives opportunity for Carolina to be able to manage the ball, matriculate the ball down the field, guys. Because that is a weakness for the Chicago Bears for them to attack. Because they're not going to be able to pass it. Chicago's allowing 61.54% of opponent completion percentages. That's 6th best in the NFL, 10th best in the NFL at 6.6 yards per pass. And Carolina, they're only getting 5.8 yards per pass. It's 27th in the NFL. Completion percentage is 60.74. All right. So, that's 27th worst in the NFL on both of those metrics, guys. So there's definitely opportunity for them to take advantage of them there. Then you look at Chicago. Chicago averaging 19.3 points per game, 21st worst in the NFL. Carolina's giving up the most points in the NFL, 32.3. Their defense is trash, basura. But Chicago's offense is basura. They're only averaging 3.9 yards per play. That's 31st worst in the NFL. And Carolina's defense, 5.8 yards is what they're averaging or let you get. 5.8 is Carolina's defense. So, that's 26 in the NFL, guys. So, definite opportunity for Caleb Williams to improve here, but we'll see. Okay, we'll see. Third down conversions, 33.3% of the time Chicago converts. That's 23rd worst in the NFL. Carolina's allowing you to convert 49% on third down. Red zone. Chicago's only scoring 55.56% of the time in the red zone. That's 16th in the NFL, middle of the pack. But Carolina allows you to get a touchdown 91.6% of the time. So if you can get down there, Chicago should put points on the box, man. They should box check them. But, we'll see. Because Caleb Williams, y'all know how I feel about him. I've been talking about him bad this whole time. You know what I mean? Chicago, 31st worst running offense in the NFL, 3.5 yards a carry. Okay. Carolina, though, they allow you to get 4.6, 23rd worst. So there's opportunity there. 29th worst running defense going against the 29th worst rushing offense. There should be some opportunity there. Chicago only runs 87.3 yards a game, but Carolina gives up 148.8. So we'll see. Okay, and then if you look at passing, 29th worst yards per play passing offense in the NFL. In Chicago, only getting 5.6 yards per pass, 61.7% completion percentage. That's 25th worst in the NFL. Carolina does allow 71.3 and 7.5 yards per pass and completion percentage. That's 26th worst against completion percentage and 22nd worst opposing against passing yards per play. So definitely an opportunity for Caleb Williams to improve upon the trashiness he's shown us so far. In the last 10 games, Carolina is 2-8 in their last 10, 4-6 against the spread, and 5 to the over, 5 to the under in their last 10 games. Whereas Chicago 6-4 straight up, 6-3-1 against the spread, and 3 to the over, 7 to the under in their last 10. Head to head, they last met last year. Chicago won 16-13. They're 6-2. Chicago runs this 3-3-2 against the spread, so it's all even. And over-unders, 3 to the over, 5 to the under in their last 8 times that they've actually been out there. So Chicago does own this series, and Chicago did win last year, even though Carolina has a new head coach. Carolina is looking to see in their next 3 games, they're looking up ahead at Atlanta, Washington, and at Denver. Whereas Chicago, their next 3 games are Jacksonville, at Washington, and at Arizona. So, neither one of these teams are in a position to look ahead, nor are they in a position to try to. I don't even know, man. These 2 teams suck. Sorry, guys. Both of these teams suck. You know what I mean? Carolina Panthers have covered the third quarter spread in 13 of their last 17 games, and the Bears, they've covered the spread in 14 of their last 21 games. Carolina Panthers have hit the third quarter game total under in 12 of their last 17 games, and the Chicago Bears have scored first in 7 of their last 7 games. Chicago Bears have hit the money line in 9 of their last 10 games at home, and the Carolina Panthers have hit the first quarter game total over in 6 of their last 10 away games, guys. All right, so when we're looking at these two teams and we're looking at the matchup, why Chicago's got a good chance to win is the home team has won each of the Bears' last 9 games. The Panthers have lost each of their last 7 road games against NFC opponents. The Bears have covered the spread in each of their last 6 Sunday games at Soldier Field, and the Panthers have failed to cover the spread in each of their last 5 October games against NFC North opponents, man. I'm going to lean towards the Bears here, or, just because they're at home. It's a money line, if I was going to do that. I think Carolina's offense looked a bit more alive last week since they did the switch to Andy Dalton, but the defense continues to be problematic. The Bears, as a whole, they definitely shown signs of improvement in the first 4 games of Caleb Williams' era. But at the end of the day, man, I just don't know with these two teams. It's 2 garbage-ass teams, man. 2 trash teams. All right, so I guess I would have to lean the Bears minus the points right now. And maybe a Bears team total over 21 and a half, maybe. I'll put my plays in the comments, man. Please like, share, subscribe. I'm going to holler at y'all. See y'all at the window. Peace.